Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Students at Clarendon School test positive for COVID. 7 students at a school in Clarendon tested positive for COVID-19 last week. This was disclosed by Medical Officer of the Health for the Parish, Dr. Kimberly Scarlett Campbell, during her report during yesterday's monthly meeting of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. We had a situation at a school last week where some of the children were coming down with flu-like illness, so we had to go into the school and we tested 124 persons. Of that number, 7 tested positive, she informed. She said the school was closed and sanitized, with inspectors going in to monitor what was happening. Campbell said a meeting was held with the private doctors in the parish, where they were reminded to notify the health department if they are seeing an increase in the number of sick children. For those who tested positive at the particular school, nobody was admitted, everybody was treated. We had doctors on site to assess them and everything was okay, she said. Full face-to-face teaching resumed last month. St. James Municipality wants duties on security cameras removed. The St. James Municipal Corporation wants the government to remove import duties on security cameras. The council yesterday passed a motion calling for the change. The motion was moved by Councillor David Brown of the Montego Bay West Division, which was seconded by Minority Leader and Councillor of the Granville Division, Michael Thorpe. Brown said he was moved to bring the motion amid intense violence in the parish, especially among students. He said he wants to see more effort to neutralize crime in public spaces. This country suffers from a social epidemic of crime. When I see the violence that has plagued our secondary institutions of learning, it is shocking, and in the quiet moments, I ask it is that the experience of the COVID-19 lockdown that has triggered some kind of mental psychosis in our youth, Brown told the meeting. The resolution seeks to abolish stamp duty on closed-circuit television CCTV cameras and related equipment in order to foster a more cost-effective environment for Jamaicans to access such security monitoring equipment for their homes and places of business. It also calls for the integration of all such security systems into the Jamaica Eye program, which was launched in 2018, to facilitate an interconnected surveillance system that will aid in deterring crime. The resolution will be sent to the Ministry of Local Government, the Ministry of National Security, and the Ministry of Finance for review. Defective handheld metal detectors in schools be replaced, says Education Minister. The Minister of Education and Youth in the process of implementing a program to replace defective handheld metal detectors in schools. The announcement comes in the wake of an audit conducted by the Ministry of Handheld Metal Detectors that were provided to all high schools. Williams said a similar audit is being done for the 27 high schools that were provided with walk-through metal detectors. Another 9 are being installed in selected schools. Aided by the use of these technological devices, Williams said schools resumed searches of students on entry and randomly throughout the day. We have given schools a safety and security policy document, and we expect that schools will abide by the procedures, especially as they relate to searches. The policy document describes what is a search and under what conditions you can have searches, she said. She further informed that some schools will be getting closed-circuit television CCTV surveillance systems to improve school safety and security. Meanwhile, the ministry is also working closely with its partners to improve safety and security within the nation's schools. These include the Community Safety and Security Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, not only to support schools to conduct searches, but also improve the visibility of the police in targeted spaces after school and at the transport centers. Also, the Minister of Justice is to provide restorative practice learning training to teachers, student leaders, and parents as a tool to manage conflict. In addition, the Education Ministry is working with the Ministry of National Security to provide case management services to students, particularly those attending schools located within or serving the zones of special operations. The National Council on Drug Abuse is also being brought on board in response to increased use and confiscation of drugs since the full resumption of school. Also, some 55 additional school resource officers from the Jamaica Constabulary Force are being deployed to schools under the Safe Schools program in the Police Area 1, which consists of Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. Jamaica Fire Brigade hampered by water woes. Among the many challenges the Jamaica Fire Brigade JFB encounters, access to water remains a major concern for its members' ability to carry out duties within the many districts across the island. Commissioner Stuart Beckford has expressed unease about the severity of the impending drought and the impact it will have on the fire department's operations as the summer period approaches. During an interview last Thursday, Beckford explained the water shortages are prevalent in the downtown Kingston area as well as many rural towns. He identified Mandeville and Brownstown in St. Anne as two of the top rural areas where the JFB has had challenges to operate in the past. Despite the fact that the fire department has been in communications with the National Water Commission (NWC), Beckford admitted that the situation is beyond their control most of the time, since the NWC storage capacity is also impacted by the rise in temperatures. To counter this, the JFB is scheduled to procure more tanks for its fleet to boost water storage capacities and increase the functionality of its fire hydrant network, which consists of 16,700 units through a fire hydrant mapping operation. This exercise, which began in December 2021, is expected to be completed within the next 6 months, where all hydrants, whether out of service, operable, or in need of maintenance, will be identified. This information aids fire units in outing fires and effectively feed water to its fire units, which can carry up to 4,000 liters of water and emptied in a firefighting operation in 7 minutes. We are cognizant of the fact that it is something that is important to the public, so we are taking steps to ensure that we address any shortcoming that now exists, he stated. Currently, approximately 67% of the fire hydrants across the country are functional. As the number of infrastructure developments continue to increase, so does the need for more fire hydrants. But Beckford highlighted that currently, there are more than sufficient fire hydrants to service Hagley Park and Constant Spring Road, 2 major government-funded projects. With a yearly allocation of approximately $14.5 million to hire contractors to construct, repair, and new installations, the JFB will carry out renovation work to its hydrant network. I want to take this opportunity to encourage Jamaicans to, if there is a hydrant on your street, if it is not working, or you have any doubt about whether or not it is working, give us a call, Beckford appealed. The Fire Hydrant Maintenance Division, which comprises of 2 teams that service all 14 parishes and are stationed in Western Area 4 and Eastern Area 1 Jamaica, will have an increased staff complement so as to improve installation and maintenance operations. An additional team of 9 will be deployed in both Area 2, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne and Trelawney, and 3, St. Catherine, Clarendon and Manchester in the near future. In 2021, the JFB recorded a total of 1,397 structural fires, as opposed to the 1,456 it received the previous year. Residential fires saw a 6.4% decrease, with a total of 1,045 calls last year, and a 12% increase in commercial fires, 309 calls, compared to the previous year. Other incidents stem from 43 reports involving hotels, offices, amusement parks, and animal shelters. According to Beckford, areas within Kingston and St. Andrew are more prone to fire devastation, as the region recorded the most structural damage, 302, with much of it occurring within inner-city communities, whereas St. Catherine fared better, with 219 fires reported. Despite the fact that Beckford believes Kingston and St. Andrew is one of the divisions with the strongest hydrant network due to its proximity to Trenchtown, York Park and Wellington Town Fire Station, the area continues to suffer, particularly within the Market District. Railway Market and Oxford Mall Arcade were destroyed in fires in February, while sections of the Coronation Market were burnt in March this year. In the Market District, those are of concern to us, said Beckford, who revealed that from investigations carried out in one of the market fire incidents in February, the cause was said to be arson. Suspected arson cases reported in 2021 saw an 11% increase to 121 cases, up from 109 in 2020. A contribution to the high levels of structural damage by fire is due to the type of housing in downtown Kingston area, which is seen as less than ideal. Their close proximity to each other greatly enables the rapid spread of fires. Frequent causes are due to the material the homes are composed of, such as wood and zinc, as well as being illegally connected to the public electricity grid. In 2021, the JFB received 339 electrical short-circuit fire calls. For us as firefighters, the risk it poses is even more than just it starting a fire, said Beckford, recalling up to 4 instances last year where members of the Jamaica Fire Brigade had came into contact with live wires and had to be hospitalized. In a similar situation, a Jamaica Public Service employee was hospitalized and later died from injuries he received as a result of a high-voltage electrocution in February. The serviceman was disengaged from an illegal connection. The JFB is prepared to tackle the concern with high-rise building and new housing developments. Beckford has also assured that the matter of fire safety is at the forefront of every decision made by the JFB before any approvals are issued to developers. The JFB has given its clearance for the construction of the Accent, which will be Jamaica's nearest and tallest structure, a proposed mixed-use 26-story building on Oxford Street in New Kingston. Currently, the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel hosts that title, being 17 stories high. Every building erected, he explained, has to consult with the Jamaica Fire Brigade for approval before construction can begin. As such, we would ensure that from a fire safety perspective, all the relevant needed equipment are a part of the design of these facilities, he stated. Some factors include the location of fire hydrants on property, the accessibility of fire hose reel on each floor level, the width of the staircase, and the ability to prevent trapped smoke in stairwells that persons would have to utilize to escape fire hazards. In addition to this, rising mains, a system of pipelines spread across the height of the building, allowing water to be easily delivered to all floors by firefighters, are necessary as the fleet of the fire truck maximum reach to 104 feet, 10 floors. When we do approval, we are not just approving and leave the contractors and the developers on their own. We do regular follow-up inspections to ensure that the fire safety concept that we would have approved are being implemented, he added. Concerns regarding Portsmouth-owned emergency services, such as a fire station, have also been expressed as a result of the forthcoming motion for it to be a parish status. According to Beckford, a fire station is expected to be built in Bernard Lodge, a township under development being spearheaded by Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, as talks with its developers over a plot of land for it to be stationed have already begun. We would have looked at it and would have given our blessing, our approval, to ideally situate it for a fire station, he said. The Hellshire region is also being considered as a potential site for the construction of a new fire station, as the Waterford Fire Station is the only station to serve the entire municipality. Portmore will be getting some attention in the next few years as it relates to us increasing our footprint in that space, he said. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.